Diablo 4 needs work. We all agree that it needs work. You can run 100 plus nightmare dungeons. Oh man, that's crazy. I could do that on my necro, but I have not tried it on my rogue. Yeah, there's no like real motivation to log in because you can't get the best gear in the game, like the helm and the sword don't drop. Like for your barb, for example, like you can't get the grandfather and you can't get the helm, can't get the shako. Just don't. Yeah. Oh, you're playing a necro. Okay. Yeah, I forgot you're playing a barbarian and eternal. So we both, you and I were like step in step. We both did barbarians for eternal and we both did necros for the seasonal. That's pretty cool. I finally broke down and did a rogue alt. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. It's like the last everything. Is there like a quest? I should turn in a quest, right? There's no quest to turn in. It's just over. There's nothing else to do in the game. You made a rogue before season 1 started, so you had a chance to play them when they were like super OP. Because rogues are super strong still. Super duper strong. My gear I got, look at this, 797, 791. It's not even 800 gear. You can get better gear by going to the Ravening Pit and killing Varshan. He drops 800 gear. There's a level 100 dungeon, yeah, and the mobs in there are like 155, I think. I've been in those dungeons on my necro when I had my Tempest build, and I was clearing lots of mobs solo. I never like try to find a dungeon that fit my abilities so that I could full clear it solo, but I've been in them. Didn't clear it, but I've been in there and I've cleared many mobs. Like, let's just say I got like 75% of the way done, then I died, but I didn't also get like the aspects that are like tailored to my abilities, like for example shadow damage, like plus 15% shadow damage and all that kind of thing, and the mobs against me probably had something that was detrimental to my abilities. But now that I've done this, I don't want to go back to my Tempest build to clear level 100 Nightmare dungeons. I think I'm just going to wait to do that on my Eternal Realm Barb, because I'd like to be able to keep this going and take friends through this that want to go through and kill Lilith. I might try to get a better chest piece though. I can't believe how stingy they are with loot. I got 2 ancestral pieces of gear from killing Uber Lilith, the biggest, baddest boss in the game. I didn't get any obols. They should drop 1,000 obols just here. Go get a bunch of free rolls on us. It should have dropped like 10 million gold to kill her. This game is just a wet blanket. To describe Diablo 4. Yeah, it's like a wet blanket for all the fun. Doesn't reward you for anything. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. I think it's going to be what, 24th? I read somewhere it's going to end on the 17th, but it takes like a week or so for them to up the new one, re-up it. I think it's going to be like the 24th, according to what I've read. Are any of these decent? No, they're not even. Imagine being a level 100 and rolling the dice at the gambler and not even getting ancestral loot. Crazy balls. Crazy balls. Dude, okay, so I don't know why you stopped playing Diablo 4 other than it's just not fun, but like I was about to stop playing because like look at my aspects. Yeah. No incentive, but also like they punish you for collecting things. You just, shame on you for collecting things. I have an entire spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet of, I'm going to bring this down. So you can't really see this these are this is like a single build right here, and this is another build. Each one of these are different sets in my bank. I've got builds set aside for those, and then these are my enchants. How come it's not zooming in now? Well, anyways, this is my offensive enchants. It keeps jumping around, and I apologize. I have been drinking. But most of these are max skills, like max stats, 25%, 25%, 50. Those are maximum stats that you can get. So I'm keeping 2 of every aspect that's maximum stats. Some of them aren't max, they're close to max, like my defensives, ability, utility, and resource. There's a lot more offensive, but my point is I'm only keeping 2 of each. And because if you use a perfect enchant on a piece of gear that is not a perfect piece of gear, and you're running around and you're running around, and then you find a perfect piece of gear that's better than that previous piece of gear that you already put a perfect enchant on, you want to have a perfect enchant that you can put on there. You don't want to be like, oh, I can't use my perfect one because what if I get a better piece of loot? Then I won't be perfect. And it's a whole, FOMO thing. So keeping 2 eliminates that, hey, I missed out because I didn't have a perfect one. But they don't give you enough space to have 2 of each. I've got this entire page is full. All of this is full. If you look at my alts, all my alts are full. And those aren't just with items, like waiting for me to rip them out. They are already ripped out of items. So like, I'm not sure what to do. Like, these are my sets of gear that I've created. Now there's a couple pieces in here that are yellow that are like, hey, maybe suggest like swapping this out for that if you're going to check this build out again. But that 5th tab there is all about my current gear specs. Now in Diablo 3, you could go next to the stash, like go to your wardrobe, and you could change your outfit from one build to the next build, and it would reset all of your talents, all of your skill abilities, everything. It would put all, well, I guess the Paragon I don't think would change actually, just the gear and your talent trees would change. But they took that away from us, that quality of life improvement. They took that away from us, and so now you actually physically have to go and pull out every piece of gear if you want to change your pieces of gear around for different builds. And then you have to go physically go into your skill tree, change all your skills around and all of your paragons around every single time you want to change your build. And it's a super frustrating hoop to jump through. Like, the idea that they would expect every player that plays this game to only focus on one build and only get the aspects for that one build and completely disregard everything else as if it doesn't exist. Don't save things for a different build in case you play that build later. Don't save aspects for a build in case you play that build later. Just focus on what you're playing now and be happy and content with what you're playing now. It might not be the best build in the game, but that is what they're trying to get you to do. Because if you focus on that, then you don't have to worry about holding other gear for different specs. You don't have to worry about getting the different aspects for, like, if I'm a Bone Spear Necro, I don't have to worry about blood aspects or blood gear. I can just destroy it. I'll get a lot more materials. I'll get a lot more bank space because of it, and I can roll alts and do the same thing with my alts. But the thing is, they nerf and buffs classes throughout the season. So you don't know what's, like, the best spec in the game for your class is going to differ throughout a 3-month season. You can't just have one spec throughout the whole thing because you're going to get nerfed or buffed or who knows what. So the solution is, okay, all right, Blizzard, I'm listening. I've created my class. I'm having a great time. I'm collecting all the aspects for my class. I'm looking up guides online. These are the suggested builds. I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Okay, it looks like you've nerfed my abilities, so I'm not as effective now. And all of my peers are doing higher level nightmare dungeons than I can survive in. Okay, so I guess the solution is what? Reroll. Put that character on the shelf. Cross your fingers that in a month or two, they'll be buffed and viable again, you can play that character. But for now, reroll, play a different character, and just do a single build. That is like words of wisdom to anybody that's playing Diablo. If you want to not worry about it, that's the way to go. Play what you want to play the builds you want to play, and if it sucks and you're not having fun, cool, put it on the shelf and go play something else. Like when the season first started, I was doing a Thorns pet damage, a pet class that was a Thorns, yeah, it was a Necro. So pets, Thorns, Necro. And it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, but man, it took me forever to kill lots of things. And it really sucked how difficult it was to clear what should be easy for me. When all my rogue friends, druid friends, all those guys were clearing like tons of stuff beyond what I was able to clear. I didn't want to reroll, but I should have, because that is based on like the lines that they've drawn in the sand, like the chalked up like path. We're all kind of on rails, because they're not just allowing you to do whatever you want. They're limiting you. So because they're limiting you, it's a certain way you have to play the game. As you can see, just about every stash tab is full. I'd be happy to pay real money out of my pocket to get more stash tabs. If I go to my alts, I've got what, 4 alts? I've got 3 alts. So my Rufio is my rogue. I'm actually playing Bjorn, my druid, and then I've got David Bowie here as my wizard. But if you look at my alts, they're just mules. A guy unfriended me because of how quickly he could kill on rogue. So this stash tab is full of just uniques. And I've come through this several times. It looks like I need to do it again, because I've got a whole bunch of Black Rivers in here I need to go. I want to just keep 2. I'm going to keep 2 of the best ones, blow the other ones up. But if you look at my aspects, it's full. So my aspects on my mules are completely full, and my inventories on my mules are completely full. I don't even know what's going to look like when the season ends and all this stuff is shipped back to my Eternal Realm character. Like, what are we going to do, man? Like, my barbarian on the Eternal Realm is pretty much full already, as far as I can recall. Look at this. All the aspects are full and all my equipment is full. And now all of these are really good pieces of gear. I've combed through all this stuff already, and it's all like viable for later. I just have no idea. I'm going to go take a look at my barbarian real quick. Now I will say I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 alts on the Eternal Realm, and maybe some of that stuff can just be blown up. But I'm going to, just for curiosity's sake, I'm going to go look at my stash in the Eternal Realm. I realize I'm behind on some messages here, and I apologize. Yeah, no incentive for sure. Not nearly enough stash tabs. And like I said, I would pay out of money. I would pay out of my pocket in real life dollars to get more stash tabs. They said today that they're looking to add something like that, but the sounds of it probably won't be for a while. Yeah, dude, I don't. Okay, so all of the gems should be in the materials and stats. All the gems should be in here. They talked about doing that already, but they should just do it. Because like Galavine, Angel Breath, like 1,200 of those flowers, Howler Moss, iron chunks, 5,000 iron chunks. So you telling me I can hold all that stuff, but I can't put a couple hundred gems in here? 4,000 veiled crystals, 8,000 sigil powder. Put all that in there, but I can't put just a couple hundred gems in there. You're telling me I can't break this down from a physical item in the game to an enchant, like casting magical spells to make it an enchant, like let's call them Pokemon cards or Pogs, little circular Pogs, coins. Can I just toss those coins in my stash? They have to be physical items? Like, it looks like it could be mounted on my wall. That's like a plaque. Why does it have to be a plaque? I melted it down from like a breastplate or boots or whatever. How about that just be like something that goes in here, and then I can select it from an alphabetized list that I can sort? Why? Why can't I just do that? Well, look at this. I got some spots there. I got some space. It's not completely full. And my aspects here aren't full. But boy, oh boy. Look at that. I even have a new stash right there. Oh, you know I want to. So I'm gonna have to fit all the items that you saw from the season into what looks like the equivalent of maybe 2 stash tabs. Well, all these flawless rubies are definitely going away right now. I do not need any of these. That's taking up a lot of space. It's not going to solve any problems for me. But these can all go away. I saved these because they announced that they were going to make them a part of the materials and stats tab. I was like, I don't want to break them down because I want to use them for alts should I roll an alt during Eternal Realm, assuming they're going to go here. But before I sell these, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to cross my fingers that they're going to fix this. Like, maybe that's going to be a quality of life improvement they do in between seasons. But anyway, it's nice to be able to like beat Diablo 4 tonight with the Uber Lilith kill. That felt so good. Especially crazy on PC. RPGs have a lot of menus. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. I realized that in Diablo 3 they made life too good. Every single dungeon that you ran, you had an opportunity to increase your character's volatility by upping your legendary gems that you had. It was still a gamble roll at the higher levels, but you could still do it. Every single run, always getting better, always getting better, always getting better. So in this game, they made it where you can't get better by running Nightmare Dungeons. After you've maxed out your glyphs, you can't get better by running them. You can only get better by finding higher stats on the primary stats for your character for your specific build. It's all pointing back to alts. It's all pointing back to alts. If you just play an alt and you just stick to one build, you're not going to have to worry about space. And maybe that makes the game better because it's easier. It's easier to focus on one thing, not worrying about collecting everything in the game. I don't like being put in a box. I don't like being limited on what I can do with my fun, with my games. I just want my stuff wiped from me now. I don't want to go and delete it all. I don't know what's going to happen. So back in Diablo 3, after a season wrapped up, they give you 30 days to go and pull all of your gear from like an in-game like mailbox or something. It's probably going to be like related to your stash over here or something like that. But you could pull from that other like ethereal wallet. And then they would give you 30 days to clear it all out before it went away permanently. So I guess in that 30 days, you can determine what gear you want to collect and what gear you want to save. And then blow everything else up for materials. But then again, like your Eternal Realm stuff's probably not... For me, it was never played. I never cared about my Eternal Realm in Diablo 3. It was all about seasonal stuff. My Eternal Realm characters just had millions upon millions of gold. All the gems I could ever want, all the gear I could ever want, but I never got onto the Eternal Realm with friends and said, hey, let's go run around and see what the highest level dungeon we can clear. It was always, let's wait until the next season starts and we'll play seasonal. Like, nobody cared about Eternal Realm stuff. I do like alts. It was really, really fun to go from the barb to the necro. It was really, really fun to go from the necro to the rogue. But with 5 classes, like, that's not enough content. In season 2, I'm going to play a sorcerer and a druid. I'm going to, because I've already done the other ones, all the 3 of them. I feel like I'm level 100 on my rogue, even though I'm 72 or 1, because it's insanely strong. And like, I'm already killing like level 100 stuff. And there's no point other than killing Uber Lilith. So it's just going to be about leveling up alts with friends. Which is weird that they're de-incentivizing players to play this on a regular basis, like 24/7, like nerding out like crazy, like a primary game. They're like forcing casual play on this game. It's weird. I think if they came out and said that, that might actually help their brand. Because people are playing this and approaching this like it's Diablo 3, the most recent Diablo game. I never played 2, so I can't compare it to 2, but it's nothing like 3. And so people are pouring days and weeks and months and all that into this game, but they're not getting any return out of it because it's not meant for that. They gotta, I feel like if Blizzard just sets the expectation that it's just, listen, play it with your friends, get on a Friday night, have some drinks or whatever, or like get some Mountain Dews and play with your friends, roll a new alt, play hardcore mode, and just have fun with the game as a casual player. Don't worry about the hardcore stuff because we don't have anything for you yet. Give us time, we're working on it, but for now, enjoy the casual play. There's a lot to offer. 5 classes, tons of specs. They slowed down 1 to 60 to keep people longer there. I don't know if that's the solution. You don't want it to feel like every level is a hell level. You want people to get through those levels quickly, get their paragons up, get their boards up, experience their character to its fullest potential after you've hit 100 and all of your paragons are full. But I feel like they just need to set the expectation that you've done it. You got to 100. If you want to, you can find a build that works for Uber Lilith for your character, or just help your buddies out and level them up, or go make an alt. That's it. Because there's nothing else for us.